Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to today's topic. Today we're talking about the very interesting topic. So this topic is about the financial budget, the financial plan that you need to put in place whenever you got retrenched, you lost your job, or you're thinking of leaving your job without securing another job. So this is the financial plan and decision that I want you to think about when you even lost that job and you want to put in place whenever it's possible. And lucky enough for you guys, this is the financial plan that I put in place when I got retrenched. So this I speak out of experience, and these what I'm gonna be sharing to you is what I did for myself when I got retrenched. So I hope it helps someone out there. It gives them an idea what they can do with their money when they get retrenched, or if they lose their job, or if they feel like they need to leave their current job in pursuit of a different career or in pursuit of a different thing that they want to focus in life. So I just have some tips to share with you guys. So please do tune in and let's hear what we can do better for our finances. So guys, remember please, all financial tips shared in this channel that just doesn't come from a financial advisor or a debt counselor. These are financial tips, are tips that we can use at our own discretion that can help us into our finance journey, and that we can all make financially smart decision in our finances. So let's get to today. Okay guys, I'm just gonna give you like some few steps that you can do to follow into your finance journey that you can do when you crash or you lost your job, or you're looking out leaving your job into a different job employment. Stand number one, you now need to understand what is going to be your source of income. So that's number one step, is to understand that, okay, now that I got retrenched, now that I lost my job, what is my source of income going forward? So it could be that, okay, you're living with a partner, you're living with the family, so meaning you guys are combining your expenses, so meaning that you're going to be needing less of your money like when you were on your own. So now you need to understand that, okay, family members and partners will be helping you in your expenses. So that's the first part you need to understand. Or, okay, I'm gonna get retrenchment money, I'm gonna get my service package, so this is going to be my source of income. So am I going to get a UIF, or am I having a side hustle? That is it going to be my main source of income. So you need to understand what is it going to be your main income, because understanding what is your source of income makes you understand how you need to structure your expenses, how you need to structure your finances, that they fit into your source of income, that they fit in the income that you're going to be expecting in the coming months. So that's the number one step. So for my end, it was obviously the pension money and the savings. So that was my source of income. So that's what I was making my financial planning based on. So you need to discover that for yourself. Next, number two things that I want you to consider is make a decision. So what does it make a decision? This one I want to say is to understand your cost of living. So basically this, it means you need to understand what is my expenses. So you need to understand, like, on month-to-month basis, what do I need to spend money on? Rent, food, cell phone, internet, car, home, anything. All those things, you need to understand how much they cost each and every single month. So you need to understand that this money is what I need to survive my life each and every single month. So you can know that since my source of income is this, but now this is my actual expense. This is my actual expenses. So you need to have that in place so that you can understand how much you need on month to month. Understanding your liabilities while you are working on your expenses. Understand expenses that you have an obligation for, so that you can see and make a plan about those, because those are essential. It's an obligation, you are to pay these ones, otherwise your credit score or your fine is in jeopardy if you do not adhere to the obligation that you put yourself into. So it's understanding what is my total liability, what is my monthly expenses. Okay, now that you're aware of your expenses and your liabilities, now what you need to do is make payments arrangement. So in this way, you're making financial arrangements for your liabilities, to say that if my source of income is not sufficient enough for my expenses and my liability, let me make payment arrangement for my liabilities so that they don't come looking for money when I don't have that money. So this means is that if you have a home, if you have a car, if you credit cards, if you have loans, all those certain things, make payment arrangement due to source of loss of income currently that is happening into your life. So in this instance, you would like to say that, okay, I need a payment break for this number of periods, because if it is that you're gonna be depending on your pension money, it normally doesn't come immediately after the retrenchment has happened. So the making a payment arrangement helps you in that regard, that you have a space and time to make sure that your liabilities, they don't come looking for money while you don't have it. So please do put that in place as well. So one thing I do not advise, normally what people do is that they wait until they receive the call for people when they're looking for their money. Please do not wait until they call you to look for it when they're looking for their money. Please make sure that you make payment arrangement for this. And also when making payment arrangement, also do consider a life-changing decision. So it could be that you are moving from where you were staying to a cheaper place. So I know that this one is more harder because no one wants to go back into a less disadvantaged place where they were not in before. So if you were stay in Sentin, now you have to move back to maybe a lower area or a place of your life. So normally this one, it becomes very hard that you change the lifestyle that you are used to into a different lifestyle because of the changes of your salary. But I see these are very necessary and it helps your finance journey. And I know that most people, they don't want to do this and they want to keep the same lifestyle, but they no longer have the same income. So please, let's not fall trap of that, and we understand that we only have to face the music of our finances, not people around us, not our families, not everyone, whoever we think that they are, but we are to face those finances ourselves. So when those people come knocking at your door looking for their money, looking for whatever, you have to face that music, not people around you. So please do make this finance. So please do make the change when it needs to happen, please guys. Now that you're gonna be receiving a lump sum of money, whether it is your service pack, whether it's if it is your pension money, let's make a financial plan about it. It differs person to person. So sometimes it might be that you don't have another job at the current moment after retrenchment or after you lost of your job. So chances are that you don't have an employment, and this is what I need you to put in place when you don't have an employment after you got retrenched or after you lost your job. So this is the financial plan I want you to make. So obviously you got a service plan or you got your pension money after. So this money comes in a lump sum form. So normally it's easy to use the money not wisely because it's like a big money of money and you're not used to having that much of money. So now you see the money and then you're like, oh, my problem solved. But if you don't know which problem this money must solve, chances are you might misuse the money. So hence why I say understand your liability, understand your month-to-month expenses so that you understand what you need to do with your lump sum. So now this is what I would advise one to do, and this is, I take it from personal experience because that's exactly what I did when I lost my job. Okay, so number one is big lump sum comes in. So one, I understand how much money I need month to month, how much liabilities I have. So now it's either you can say, out of this lump sum and pay my liabilities if they are less than the month-to-month money that you're gonna be needing. Let's say your liabilities altogether added up, they can amount to 100k. So if you're like, okay, I can pay my life after you paid your liabilities at 100,000, you still have money that maybe you can make a payment arrangement for yourself for another 12 months, because it is harder to get an employment nowadays. So you have to plan something like a 12 months to 18 months, because it is hard to find an employment in South Africa at the current moment. So that's what I would advise you to do. So number one is pay out your liabilities if you can. But if you can't pay your liabilities with the payout that you get, what you can do is make payment arrangement with your liabilities, and then you pay less than what you will usually be able to do when you have a salary. So that's what you need to also have in place. And then I'm gonna make an example. Let's say you get a 300,000 rand from the pension money. So let's say your liability is 100,000, then you got 3,000 rand. So meaning you pay liability with 100,000, and then you have 3,000 rand left for you to be able to pay yourself a salary. So what do you do with that money? So let's say on month-to-month basis, you need 15,000 for your expenses. So do you need the whole 2,000? Do you need the whole 2,000 rand at once? No, you don't. You only need 15,000 on month-to-month basis. So what do you do with the 200,000? You invested in different types of investment. Let's say you have 200,000 now. So you will need less than 100,000 within 6 months. You will need less than 100,000 within a year. So now what do? You take maybe the 100,000, you put it in a long-term investment. Then you have 100,000 for maybe that will cover you like the next 6 months or 8 months. So what do you do with the 100,000 that is at your disposal? You also don't want to have it in one place, because it's easy to like, I know what my expenses next month will be, so I'm just using that money for the next month. Chances are you might not be able to manage that money very well. So you invest it in a short-term investment, then you pay yourself on month-to-month basis. So you pay yourself a salary of 15,000 every month, and you take this money from your investment, where the rest of the money is what is accumulating interest and is what is increasing. So please do invest your money in a long and a short-term type of investment, so where it accumulates interest, because you don't normally need it all at once month basis. So this is exactly what I did as well. So literally what I did is I paid myself a salary each and every single month, so I knew how much money I need every month, and then I pay myself a salary. So I never had to have a big lump sum that is there for me to misuse whatsoever. So I paid myself a salary, and it worked well for me, because I was able to be like everyone who is employed while unemployed, because while I have my money that was coming each and every single month. When I also see this, it helps in regards to say that also, you know how banks they still see it as an income coming in. So normally they don't care much about payslip and ad, but it still sees it as month-to-month salaries. So in that case, it still helps you to still maintain a good credit score, where you can still qualify for certain types of loan, where you can still qualify for certain things that you might need for yourselves while you are unemployed. So please do that. It helps a lot. It helps tremendously. It worked for me. I'm a living testimony of that, so it might work for you as well. So to invest your money and pay yourself a salary, and that salary will be based on the total expenditure that you need to pay for that as well. Make an investment, but do not make an irrational investment. So I know sometimes people, when they get those big monies, they go to make rich schemes where the whole money goes, where it's like you are taking the highest risk type of investment with all the money that you have without having a proper plan of what's gonna happen next. Make a safe investment, and that is not a get well rich scheme. So where you invest in shares, where it affects both your investment, it affects both your type of investment. And if you do want to know more on types of investment that you can be on the lookout for when you do have a lump sum of money, there is a link there upstairs where you can go view that video and get some more ideas on type of investment that you can do when you get your lump sum of money. So do make an investment. Another investment that I would advise people to do, especially nowadays, invest in yourself that can help you to get a better employment next. So you lost your job and now you're looking for a different type of investment. So now what is it that you can do or study or invest in yourself that can help you generate income? And also this could be studying, this could be investing in your side hustle, this could be investing in something that can help you generate more income. If you need to invest in the side hustle that you already were running but you need more investment in it so that it makes more money, please do that and make a wiser and a smart investment with the lump sum that you'll be getting from your retrenchment money when you have lost your job. So that's what I have to say today, and that will be it for today. That will be it for this video. But guys, if you do have any ideas or suggestions that have worked for you, please leave them on the comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. What did you do with your retirement money? What worked for you? And just share it so that we can use it at our discretion and see if it's applicable to us and it can work for us. And always, you might have question, or you might have like, you know what, I'm going through this, my finances like this, and like a financial advice that you're seeking, please do email the email below. I'm here to help you. If there's anything that you want to discuss in your finances that I can help you with, please do send the email and I'll be right there to help you in your finance journey. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you on the next time. Bye for now.